Well, it's time for Community Corner, where we're going to highlight those stories that teach, inspire, and help us learn a little bit more about our neighbors right here in Metro Atlanta. I'm Ron Jones. First of all, securing your neighborhood. That's really important, right? And it's the goal of the Atlanta Police Department's community policing program called the Secure Neighborhoods Initiative. So the department says the program is lowering crime and actually helping retain more officers as well. And is also providing dozens of police officers with affordable housing. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley explains how the program works.
Louis Dees considers it a luxury to live in the shadow of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Morehouse grad moved to the English Avenue Vine City neighborhood 2 years ago, thanks to the Atlanta nonprofit Westside Future Fund.
It does show a lot of hope and progress. The biggest investment or the biggest asset this neighborhood has is its community.
And protecting this community is a luxury he can't live without. Fortunately, he's got backup.
A lot of times these are first-time homeowners.
Mixed in with the abandoned homes and longtime residents are new homes housing those in uniform. Curtis Lean Bass leads the Atlanta Police Foundation's Secure Neighborhoods program.
Using those homes or using this area, we're able to have our officers live where they've been sworn to serve.
Funded by private donations, the program has given more than 30 officers a chance to buy affordable homes. Bass says it's led to a decrease in crime in the area. The program's also attracting more Atlanta police officers. Recipients are required to patrol their new neighborhoods and work with youth at the At Promise Center.
You have additional security. You have people that are involved in what's going on. I don't want them to just think of this as buying a house, though. The program is really focused on those officers who have a passion for what community policing means.
To Louis Dees, community policing means getting to know your neighbors, and that's no luxury. That's something everyone can afford.
However, keeping them accountable and letting them know that we're aware that they're here and that if they're going to be civil servants, then we can call on them on duty, off duty, but we still have a level of respect, and that mutual respect is what makes a community grow and thrive.
In Atlanta, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
A private school in downtown Atlanta is working to expand to keep offering a free education for dozens of Metro Atlanta students who are experiencing homelessness. 11 Alive's Tracy Amick-Pierce spoke with parents about why they say this is so necessary for their children to succeed.
When you're dealing with homelessness, you're dealing with not knowing where you're going to stay, not knowing if they're going to be clean the next day, how you're going to get them there.
When Brianna Joyelle found the Boyce L. Ansley School downtown a few years ago, her children finally had a stable place to learn. The private school offers free tuition for children experiencing homelessness, with buses for transportation, mental health support to address any trauma, and classes on finance and parenting.
It helps elevate the parents and everybody as a whole, so as a family we grow.
As a private school, there are no residency zones, and students come from across the metro, like Ashley Morgan's children, who come from Clayton County.
Every morning they be ready to go to school, and I be ready to send them off.
Right now, the school offers classes for kindergarten through 4th grade. Both Morgan and Joyelle are excited that by next fall, the school will be adding 5th grade, so their daughters can stay at the school.
And it was just going to break my heart to have to uproot her.
Because I don't want my daughters to kind of go to another middle school.
Ray James is the new head of school. He says they are renovating a 2nd floor to fit the new grade. Each new grade costs between $500,000 and $700,000, with that funding mostly provided by individual and corporate donors. James says they're committed to providing stability and consistency year after year.
Promises to kids and families are sacred, and so we have to be able to ensure that we can actually meet our goal.
That they were willing to pour into our students and to pour into our future and the well-being of our city, because honestly, these are our next great leaders.
James says they'll add another grade every year until they reach the 8th grade, at which time these students will go to Cristo Rey. He tells me they'll start recruiting for the new 5th grade next week. In downtown Atlanta, Tracy Amick-Pierce, 11 Alive News.
The Cobb County DA's office prosecutes crimes. That's what they're supposed to do. However, they're now working to help victims of serious crimes heal after the traumatic loss of a loved one. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy learned about how this program works.
When Nancy and Frank Aguilar's son Jesse was killed in 2006, the couple says they found strength and family in their local Parents of Murdered Children chapter in Southern California. When they got to Georgia, they noticed there were no groups like POMC to offer support, so they decided to do something about it.
They were having a town hall meeting in Marietta, and it was pouring rain. I told Frank, we are going to go crash this meeting and we're going to introduce ourselves and we're going to tell them, you know, we want to open up something here.
Aguilar is part of a team who worked to put the group together with the help of the Cobb County District Attorney's Office. DA Flynn Brody says he is reminded every day when he walks into his office of all the people in the community who would benefit from this new support group.
And when you see those pictures, you have to realize that there's a family behind every single one of them. And those families go through a grief process, go through a mourning process. And what do they do to strengthen their resolve to carry on and move on with life?
And this wall that you see behind me contains the names, the faces, and the dates of some of the people who have been killed here in Cobb County. Cobb County District Attorney officials tell me that they are actually running out of space on this wall, and they're going to need to reconfigure it and possibly move some of the pictures to a wall downstairs so that they just can fit in all of the people who have lost their lives to violence here in the county. The support group is open to anyone who has lost a loved one to violent crime. Aguilar says she's hoping to fill the gap for families like hers who just need to be around other people who understand their unique struggle.
When I was introduced to parents of murdered children, I then too thought, what do they know how I feel? But you know what? That first meeting, they knew how I felt. And I mean, they became my family.
Reporting from Marietta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
The Fulton County Board of Commissioners is giving the arts a big financial boost. The board is approving more than $2 million for arts programming and initiatives around the county. So the bulk of that money is going towards the Contracts for the Services program, which works with nonprofit organizations to bring entertainment, education, and economic opportunities to the community. $75,000 will support the Soul Food Festival, and $250,000 will support Fulton Films, which actually works with local aspiring filmmakers, producers, and actors. 8 Georgia students are now among an elite group selected to participate in the Disney Dreamers Academy. So the annual conference at Walt Disney World aims to help students with goals and career building. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates reports an Atlanta area school had not 1, but 2 students selected.
Elite Scholars Academy senior Cameron Pope and freshman Hannah Dennis consider themselves big dreamers.
I'm a part of the Clayton County Youth Commission, and in doing that, I serve the youth of my county, and so we do food drives. We also make events such as, we have an upcoming event called College Isn't For Me that I help plan to basically guide students on a track to see, well, if you don't want to go to college, here are other options.
Cameron's schoolmate Hannah has also organized events that positively impact the community.
I also used to do this thing called Hannah's Christmas Extravaganza, where I would donate toys and give them to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Both students are part of multiple organizations and they volunteer regularly. Their efforts help them to secure a slot in the 2024 class of Disney Dreamers Academy, a weekend workshop at Disney World aimed at setting goals and career building.
It is a life-changing experience. They have an opportunity to pursue and understand what those career opportunities are for them by being exposed to professionals in the fields that they're interested in, to celebrities, to fellow cast members, which are employees of Walt Disney World Resort.
Out of 1,000 applicants nationwide, only 100 students were selected, 8 from Georgia, and for the first time, 2 students are from the same school, Elite Scholar Academy.
It just shows how well-rounded the students are and how we are more than just academic excellence.
And while many celebrate the milestone, Hannah Dennis says she's just excited about being selected.
Like, little old me, I got picked, and it's been really amazing just going through it. Like, when I first found out, I was really excited. I was screaming pretty much every day.
A top recognition for a local high schooler, the National Youth Organization, the Young Marines, named Kennesaw's Adam Robinson as the Division III Young Marine of the Year. So he's a member of the junior ROTC drill team at Harrison High School. Now he's up against 5 other division winners for the national title. Congratulations to him. The spring wedding season is right around the corner, and 2 women in Forsyth County are hoping to save the big day for brides in crisis. 11 Alive's Liza Lucas traveled to Cumming to learn more.
Rows of wedding dresses. Not what you'd expect to see in a suburban basement.
Yes, that would be very pretty.
But for Carol Williams, it's here where the fairy tale begins.
I am the owner and creator of Fairy Godmother's Closet, And we give wedding dresses to brides in need, brides who can't afford their gowns.
It's a mission Carol started in Oregon before moving to Cumming, Georgia a few years ago. Bridal shops donate samples, some still with tags, all benefiting a bride in need.
The season and the economy. I get so many brides that are crying and says they're having to choose between the wedding and their dress.
Partnering with Diane Lyon, the pair hopes to be the solution, offering free dresses for those unable to afford one of their own.
I'm not a scam. I am for real. It's hard to convince them, especially since I'm not a storefront. Every bride deserves to be beautiful on her wedding day, and I don't think money should really be an issue.
Which is why she wants to spread the word, with hundreds of gowns ready to be given away.
It warms my heart. It is something that is so special.
For these two women, watching the bride's reaction makes it all worthwhile.
Sometimes it brings me to tears. It's special. It's a special feeling.
Incoming, Liza Lucas, 11 Alive News.
Well, you may still be looking for a little inspiration for your New Year's resolution. So here's an inside look at one local dance class as proof of movement being the best medicine.
Ta-Da Foundation's Senior Positive Motion Program. It's a weekly class that's offered free to the Atlanta dance community. Dance brings a lot of joy to a lot of people's life, and movement is medicine.
We have seen people coming in with walkers, and they'll move that walker over, and they just feel the freedom to dance
with us. Noticing, looking in their face.
Yes.
We're glad you're here.
They're not lonely, and we're not lonely, and it's a trip that is not to the doctor's office.
We have folks that come from assisted living facilities. We have folks that come from the community and all different abilities. So whether you're 3 or 103, there should always be an opportunity for someone to be able to move. And that's just what this is.